It's not the right camera. Hold on. No, I didn't do it right. Is it live now? I think it's live now. Yeah, it's live, but I have the wrong camera.
It's okay.
Well, we'll switch to this camera. This camera is not as...
About right in there.
I'm going to raise it up a little bit.
Okay. Will it hold itself?
I think so.
You gonna be able to type like that?
Well, I'll probably not be able to type, but I won't have to type because I'll just talk.
Okay. Yeah. Get more that way.
Will you be able to read like that?
It'll be tough, but
These guys are watching us struggle on the struggle bus here. All right. Well, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
So, truck is looking good. Obviously, you can hear us okay. Microphones are working, so that part of it's working, I think.
Mine too?
Let's see, there's, yep.
Yep.
Scott says yep. Now, is it coming through this mic? So I was supposed to be using my phone for the camera, and I had it working last night, and now this morning it didn't work. What if I go over here? Is my microphone? Should be a remote mic. Can they still hear me over here? Can you hear me on this microphone?
Both sound great.
Okay, good.
Sounds really good, clear. Yes.
Well, the sound is probably just as important, if not more important, but so now the camera will be here. So I think I've done 4 live streams so far. I only did 1 last year. And every time I kind of go with a different setup as far as the rig I'm going to use. And I was going to try it a particular way where you can use your phone, you can pair it with your laptop, and then use the camera from the phone as your webcam. And I had it all worked out that that's what I was going to do. Matter of fact, my phone's up there on the thing, but then I could use my phone to, pan around the shop and stuff.
It worked in practice.
It worked in practice. But, all right, we got backups now. So good morning. I just I thought this would be a good way to start out the year for whatever reason. This is the first time in all year that I didn't produce a video for a Sunday morning, really. Kind of took 2 weeks off. I had a video out last week, but that was a review video, and that was, I don't want to say easy, but you get to use a lot of footage from the stuff you did in the previous year, so that wasn't too bad. For those that don't know, my cousin Tony, this is Tony Newland. He's a volunteer fireman.
Yeah, there it goes.
Right on cue. But Tony's been in a couple videos, a handful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. A little odd jobs.
Odd jobs. Tony's a woodworker. He's got an Alaskan sawmill for his chainsaw. You just built a kiln?
Yes.
So for some drying.
Yep. I don't have anything in it yet. And
You haven't tried it yet?
I haven't got it in there yet. I've got it. Everything's functional.
Really?
But it's not loaded yet.
But he does a lot of woodworking in his shop. Matter of fact, he makes stuff. He's been selling a lot of like cheese slicers. Just he burnt my logo in there. Cut the cheese with this. What's Black Creek design? Yeah. So it's kind of cool. Is the image reversed? No, it's right. But the chat's been flying by here, so let's say hi to a few people. I see Doug from One Eyed Customs in there. He's telling everybody to hit the like button. Steven, Dave from Sassafras Valley, Green Acres Gaming, Jay Brown from over in Defiance. Good morning, Jay. I see your name on a lot of comments. Brian, Ohio from Medaw. I see that name all the time. Medaugh. Medaw. Is it Medaw? Cody, good morning. Robert, good morning. Tony, do you have a channel or website?
I'm actually working on a website right now, so that'll be coming. I do not have a channel.
No. You thought about it one time.
I did, yeah. I started into it and decided I wasn't getting enough accomplished.
I know the feeling. Dave, obviously from Sassafras Valley.
Yes, I saw that.
He does a lot of woodworking. So Tony's in the chat a lot, so he knows a lot of the names.
Yeah, I recognize a lot of the names.
He comments on every video, and he's been a big supporter for a long time. So Tony and I, see that microphone? Tony's, it's probably making it go. Tony's mom and my dad are siblings, so I've known him my whole life. He's a couple years older than me.
12.
12.
Yep, I was 12 when you were born.
But we've done a lot of projects together too. So like here's a throwback picture of Tony and I. So that
was 25 years ago.
25 years ago.
Yeah.
That was in my dad's shop. Tony bought a
F100.
F100. That's the body from an F100. That orange body from an F100, and we put it on an F250 chassis.
High boy
chassis, like a 76 or
76. Yeah.
76. So that's what we've been kind of doing projects together for a long time. This is what makes me think I can work on the Bronco. I'm doing this 25 years ago in my dad's shop. So that's a little back history on the two of us, I guess. Oh my goodness, Thailand.
Wow. I saw some people asking about snow. I think they've downsized our snow that we're going to get today. They were saying 3 inches, and I don't think we're going to get much of anything now.
Yeah. So that band that's going to go south of us down through Indy and southern Indiana, the guys in Derby might get it, like Fleeman and Dirt Perfect.
Yep.
They're likely to get a pretty heavy band.
Yeah, they were seeing 6 to 12 down around that area. So
really,
yeah. Whether that stands, I don't know.
We always get missed. It's like I get my hopes up all the time. For my entire life, I've always hoped for snow. I've always hoped for the big snow.
Yeah. And we used to plow snow together.
Yeah, we always
many years ago.
But now, I don't know, the older I get, the less my interest is in it.
I know.
I think I'm going to be aged out. We're going to get the biggie, right? What I'm not interested in anymore.
I don't want to put my plow on, that's for sure.
See, MC Power Sports says, just like Southeast Michigan. And traditionally, we would go snowmobiling every year up in Michigan. And it's been the same way where the snow is starting to decline. We'd go skiing up there all the time. And it's harder and harder to find that window of opportunity for skiing. I know that resorts make their own snow a lot of times, but even when it's warm, the snow's not right when it's been thawed and frozen so many times. But there was a couple of years when we tried to go up to Michigan to snowmobile, and there wasn't enough snow, so we wound up in upstate New York in the early 2000s, like in 02, 03. That was quite an experience, a lot different. But
I've never been up there.
Oh, there's ads during the live?
Really?
Oh man.
Somebody has 4 inches of snow.
Let's see if I don't know if I can shut that off. See, it says monetization is off. I've got it all set to off. So I'm sorry if there's ads. Hey, there's Dan from Back 40. Thank you, Dan. Good morning.
Wow.
Is the Bunyan Show in the 25 agenda? As long as the same thing doesn't happen as last year, and my girls were at a state cross country meet, and that's why I didn't end up getting to go this year. I had full intentions of going to Paul Bunyan, and then who would have guessed that my girls were going to be great cross country runners and wind up running in state? They had never done cross country before. That was one of the big things that happened this year that I wasn't really counting on either. Was we spent a lot of Saturdays for cross country meets. They're all on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So that's a good question, Dan. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, that's why I didn't end up getting to go this year. But
seems like no ads are coming up now. A lot of people saying no ads.
But Dave says, Sassafras Valley says, yep, ads are popping.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm sorry for that. I'm looking at it right here, and it says monetization off. So I don't know. You'd think 4 years of YouTube, I'd know what I'm doing, but I don't do enough lives to know what I'm doing. Now, Dan, Back 40 Firewood, he would know. But thanks for that. All right, so I was going to just talk about the year in review. I know I did that video last week anyway, the year in review, but I was going to talk about girls being in sports. One of the things that was kind of a highlight of the year that we didn't expect. Of course, they've played softball for a number of years and they've played basketball, but this year they really got heavy into that. They're in 7th grade this year, so they're doing official,
Yeah. Starting high
school
school
team
stuff.
sports. So they did track early on, and that was a lot of fun. All the track meets, and both girls participate, and both girls are really good. And then they did cross country. We wound up running the Harlan Days 5K, which I put in a video, and they figured out they were kind of long distance runners, I guess, and then wound up doing really well in cross country. So that tied up a lot of time, but I don't know, it's super enjoyable. So I wouldn't give it up. But we wound up with a couple new trucks I got a new truck this spring, and Kara got a new car. We finished up the pond. Oh, we sold the RV this year too. We weren't sure if we were going to miss that or not, but
Don't miss it.
so far I really like having the space in the shop. That's what I've gained.
It's better space than having it.
Yeah, I've got so much more room for activities in here now without that RV in here, but we enjoyed it. It was just one of those deals that we didn't have time for it anymore. And that was, the sports was a big part of that, but I don't know, we're at that stage where the sports is more fun than anything else. So, but,
what was the temp this morning? It's like
15.
15.
When I walked
Somebody's
out here.
asking what the temperature is here. It's
15 degrees Fahrenheit. So,
still pretty chilly.
Yeah, it's supposed to get up to like 20 today. We're supposed to go tobogganing this morning. So there's a place about an hour north of here, Pokagon State Park. They've got a toboggan run. I think they open at 10 o'clock Eastern our time. So we'll probably run this for maybe about an hour if we can keep talking about stuff for an hour. And then we're going to head up there to go tobogganing. Kira's brother and his family are here from Chicago visiting. They've been here for a week. So we've been hanging out with them a lot this past week. And so
a question, what's the time frame for the wrap on the dump truck? Do you know that yet?
It's supposed to be done on January 15th.
Okay.
So that's the appointment. Soon. And so I go to Texas next week for work. And that's something we're going to talk about later is work. This microphone keeps turning. But I go to Texas next week, and then I'll get back. And then the Fort Wayne Farm Show is the following week, the week of, I think it's like 14, 15, 16, or right there in the middle, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of the following week. And so the wrap is supposed to get done during the farm show, of course. So I got to try to figure out how to get that up there and then go to the farm show. But yeah, I'm working on it right now. I got the bed up.
A driver, just let me know.
I might need to. I might need to. But the bed is up because the lights aren't working. I got one light working on the back, or there's actually two lights working. For some reason, I have two lights working and the cab lights work, but the headlights don't work. The running lights don't work. The turn signals, nothing else works on the back. So Dad was helping me here the other day, pulling our hair out, trying to figure out what's wrong with the lights. So I got
Gotta be a ground or something somewhere.
I got everything all tore out of the bottom. Haven't figured that out yet. So we got the dump truck to try to get ready to drive down the road for January 15th, and then it'll get the wrap on it. It's not crazy. It's getting some black on it, obviously, to look more like the Bronco, but it'll have a few accents on it that are different than the Bronco too. So
I saw a question pop up about the pond. Can you skate on it, or do you use your aerator? I saw someone ask.
Yeah, that's a good question. This is a nice way to do it. Have you read the questions and tell me. But yeah, the pond, it will freeze over. It froze over for about 2 weeks last year, and the kids got to skate on it. That was in a video, but it has frozen over once so far this year. Thanks, Scott.
Wow.
It froze over enough to where the cats were out walking on it a couple of weeks ago, when it was down in the teens before, but I wouldn't let the kids on it. So it's open water right now.
We're going to be below freezing for the next week for sure. So it's going to build some ice now.
But they are chomping at the bit to get on that ice. We got them hockey nets for Christmas, and we all got new skates. There's 4 pairs of brand new ice skates in there in the garage and 2 hockey nets. And now we just need a stretch of cold weather. So of course it couldn't happen over Christmas break when they would have been out there every day, but here we are. It gets cold and nasty. Whenever we leave, it never fails. Like if I have to leave, then that's the week that the stove needs the most attention, or we're at risk of having frozen pipes. I don't know how that works out, but It's every year when we leave. But
Yeah.
so this year when I go to Texas for work, Kara and the girls are staying back home because the girls have 2 basketball games. And I'm going to miss 2 games. That's the first 2 things I've ever missed. But so they'll be staying here.
I'm sure your dad will be there. Your mom.
Well, Kara's supposed to live stream it.
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping she'll FaceTime me the game.
Yeah. Okay. Question: what's the schedule for the Bronco fix-up?
The schedule is
ASAP as soon as possible.
When I get the when I get this dump truck out of here, then I'm going to turn my attention to the Bronco. I really don't have any big upstanding projects to work on other than the Bronco. If I can get the truck done, I just haven't had a chance to work on it with the holidays and stuff this year. It was our particular, I don't know, the way it fell on a Wednesday was kind of good and kind of bad because we worked part of the first week and then went back after the second. After the New Year, I mean.
Little mini weekends.
Yeah. So it was good. Just been really busy. Triaxle plans. I see triaxle plans. So yeah, the triaxle can go in for paint. Hopefully, when I get this done, I want to make sure I had this truck completely done and the ability to use it in the absence of the triaxle. I want to put a barn door swing gate on the back of the triaxle, so it needs some fabrication work done first before it goes to paint. But once I get that done, then that one will be next, hopefully. And it's just always been a goal of mine to have everything kind of painted up the same to look to match. And so hopefully between both dump trucks and the Bronco, it'll turn into a fleet. But I got to get rid of that black pickup now.
Find a gray one.
Well, I wanted black for a long time because I've had 4 white trucks and I've always wanted black, but it took me about a year to
black shows the dirt.
Realize I don't like it. I mean, I like it. It looks great, but it's hard to keep clean.
Yeah.
Is the Bronco going to be a frame off? That's a good question. The Bronco will be a frame off because I won't be using that body. So I guess it's behind you.
Yeah.
Can you see it if you move out of the way? The Bronco's right there. There's the Bronco.
Yep.
So yeah, it'll be a frame off because I've got a different body that actually came from Arizona to put on there. So when I went to Matt's Off-Road Recovery in Utah, I met a dude that had some trucks out back behind his place, or he knew a friend or something that did. And one thing led to another. And I got a pretty solid straight Bronco from Arizona that had been put on the chassis of like a 95 or 96 Bronco, which I don't necessarily want. So they started this swap, kind of like a resto mod of an old 70s body on a 90s chassis with the coil spring front suspension. They didn't finish it, never got it done. So I'm going to take the body back off of that one and hopefully put it on this one. This one's got a 460 swap in it already that we did in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, and that engine runs great. So that's the plan. Good. Get it stripped down, work the frame, make sure everything's good on the underside, and then hopefully put the body on. I'd love to find somebody to collaborate with on that Bronco that's, that would do some of the body work in particular. I'm not a great body work, but Tony, I wish you were closer. I have a ton of sawn hardwood that is air drying. I have time. My projects are on the drying cycle, sometimes years.
What's the William Harris behind your sassafras?
That's his name.
Okay.
He goes by Dave.
Where is he located? Down near
He's
Indy?
in Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. Okay. Yeah, I wish you were closer too. I could probably pull a picture up of the kiln on my phone and show that.
There's a coal windship. I'm all the way from Canada. Where do you live? So we are in Northeast Indiana. Actually, we can be to Canada in 2 hours.
I can see.
Andy Scheider knows of a couple local driveways that need stonework.
That's a side view.
There's this kiln. He's showing you pictures of the kiln. Right here's the camera.
Front view. See the venting up top and then on the bottom. That's on the doors. So everything works on it right now. The fans are installed and everything. I just have not had time to load it yet.
You've unloaded a lot of logs there.
I need somebody with a skid loader to come over
I don't know.
There's
I
one
don't know if
sitting right
There's a
here.
skid loader right here. See, if I was going to use my camera phone, I could look around. But I like that Mug 76 question. Are you going to let sponsors overtake this fantastic show? That's a good question for later. Monetization back on, so at least you get credit for the ads. Well, I wasn't doing this for the ads this morning. I was hoping it wouldn't have ads, so maybe that's went away. Maybe it does the ads early on. We could do a collaboration on the kiln. You know what, Ryan? I did a video. One of my earliest, highest viewed videos was removing a stump with my backhoe, and that was his.
That was at my house, yeah.
So we removed the stump with the backhoe, and the thumbnail says something about like maybe we should have used dynamite,
Right.
because we talked about using dynamite in the video, and then I got accused of clickbait. But anyway, we tore out that stump, and then he built a barn, and I think I hauled the first load of stone I ever hauled with my triaxle was for your driveway in front of the barn. But I've always wanted to do a follow-up on his barn and his wood shop, because he's got a bunch of stuff in there now. So that's a great idea about checking in on the kiln.
Yeah, I get it cleaned up. I've got a lot of wood laying in there right now.
So a couple people brought up the sponsor thing, and I'll talk about that right now. I had that on the list of things to talk about. Hopefully my audio is okay. This stupid microphone won't stay where I want it to. It keeps turning. There, that's probably better. Sponsors are a tricky thing. So you've probably, if you're on YouTube at all, you know the deal. You know how a lot of YouTubers, they'll do ad reads, and this video brought to you by AG1 or Simply Safe, or there's a lot of like really popular ones that go after all of the YouTubers. And my inbox is full of that stuff all the time, constantly. There's these brokers out there that work for these companies. So you've got a broker that works for Simply Safe, and he's got these ad packages of all these different brands, and they want to find these 30-second or 60-second spots. And I turn them down all the time. I did one for Simply Safe, and they're good paying. That's why they're hard to resist, is they pay really well. And I have missed out on probably a lot of income because I don't like doing it. I don't like the feeling of promoting something that, I haven't really got to try out. That's the way it was with Simply Safe. When they sent me this stuff, I was like, well, do I get to use it for a month or two to see how I like it and review it? And they were insistent that I just do it, which should have been a red flag right from the beginning. And I like it. We used Simply Safe for a while, but it's a pay-for service. So I just don't want to be in a position where I feel like I'm selling something that I'm not a true believer in. And so like nothing against any of those companies, AG1 or anything. I don't know anything about it, and that's why I couldn't promote it. I couldn't do an AG1 spot if I hadn't been trying it for a long time. But so I say all that about ads and sponsors to say that if something comes along that I would use, or I'm already using, or I'm a fan of, like if I saw an email in my inbox from Milwaukee that says we'd like to have you be a brand ambassador for Milwaukee, I'd be like, bring it on, because I already use Milwaukee tools and I really like them. If John Deere came a knocking and said, we want to provide you a couple
try this for
machines to put on your channel, that'd be hard to turn down. So, it has to be in the vein of what I do, and it has to be.
I see that people are agreeing that
okay.
As long as it's something that you use, go for it, they're saying. But if it's not, then stay away.
Right. Oh, and that's great advice. And that's kind of the way I feel about it now. So that's an integrity thing. That's like, that's what people, see, Casey Liddell. That's actually who came to mind with the AG1, because I think he has like I don't know, I don't want to speak. He's got like a colostomy bag or something, he doesn't, and they were wanting him to promote it, that it's great for his gut health.
Oh.
And he doesn't have any guts.
Oh my, yeah.
He's like, I can't do that. But they made him do it anyway. Like they wanted him to do it anyway.
Okay.
So
they have parameters that you have to touch on things that they want to cross.
Oh yeah. Okay. They have a checklist, and you have to say the things on the checklist, which it's fine for those that want to do that. That's fine. whatever. And maybe those people use that stuff now, but I don't do it. But so that brings me to, like I said, that's what's kept me from, I think, crossing the threshold of where a lot of YouTubers get to. You know, they're making some money from AdSense, which is the commercials that run in the videos. That's decent money, but it's not like, you know, it's not life changing, I guess, money. Even when you get to the level that this channel is, it's a substantial income boost having AdSense from these videos, but you know, the sponsors is where you really make it go over the top, because you can double your AdSense money like in a year's time if you're like really trying to put a sponsor with every video. So I say all that because I've been thinking of Patreon. I've got a couple creators that I follow that I'm a Patreon supporter of, because I feel it's of value to me to, you know, it's like $5 a month. One of them is a creator that I'm inspired by because they do, you know, good videos, and I like they do behind the scenes stuff where you can ask questions on Patreon and talk to them personally. And so I do that. One of my favorite YouTubers, Wes of Watch Wes Work, he's got a Patreon, and I'm not a Patreon of his. I follow his channel. I'm a Patreon supporter, but not a paid member of his channel. That's what Patreon, you can be a Patreon member and not necessarily pay. But I don't know. I've been thinking about that as maybe an option. And instead of doing like those ad reads, just do Patreon, and it wouldn't change anything on here. It's just a different way to get supported.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people can support you that want to support the channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
there are people here saying that they would support your Patreon. Yeah.
I've just always been leery of it because it feels like asking for money. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And
I hate that.
I know. I get that.
You know, the ad-based model or the sponsorship model means you're going out, you're pounding the pavement, you're finding the right brands to partner with, and they're paying you money, and then you're reading an ad for 30 seconds or 60-second spot. Then you got to make your viewers either sit through that or whatever.
Right.
The Patreon route, to me, feels like, well, it's like asking you to subscribe to me for $5 a month on Patreon, and then if you're a viewer on Patreon or a supporter on Patreon, then I'll do like, you kind of give those people something else too, like either a behind the scenes look or a so, or you do like one video for Patreon a month or a week or something like
exclusive.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thankful to see a lot of people say they would, if it would hold sponsors off this video.
Yeah.
Well, that would be the idea. So if I went this Patreon route, the idea would be that I wouldn't be doing those 30-second, you know, ad reads and stuff. Now, that's not to say that I wouldn't still welcome a sponsor that is, I'm looking at that camera and that camera's not on. That's not to say that I wouldn't support a brand or a sponsor that I already use and still put that in a video. But yeah, the Patreon would hopefully eliminate the need to do like the ad reads and all that. So we'll see.
Ratman Murray says you're not asking for money so much, you're asking for support.
Yeah, basically, so that I can keep doing this the way I have been doing. And the reason for that is, so Doug of One-Eyed Customs asked before the live stream started, he said I mentioned that I'm still working full time, and he thought I wasn't. Well, I do basically work full time. I work 4 days a week at my job at G&K Concepts. I keep looking at my phone. I work 4 days a week at G&K Concepts. That's something I started new in 2024. I work Monday through Thursday, regular hours, and then I've been taking Fridays off to try to work on videos. And that's been a huge help in being able to produce a video once per week. But like I was talking about earlier, the girls being in sports and stuff on Saturdays and weekends, I've kind of lost Saturdays in that regard. Not lost Saturdays, but I can't use that time for videos as much. I still do, but so I'm hoping that in 2025 there's going to be a shift where, you know, right now I spend the majority of my time at G&K, and I spend one day a week on YouTube videos, and the evenings, I work in the evenings too on YouTube. But in 2025, the goal is to be more time on YouTube and less time on G&K. So that's a big change that I'm anticipating. We haven't got it all worked out yet. Greg might be watching this. And, well, here, I mean, Greg and I, Greg obviously knows, but.
So somebody is asking to see that hit and miss right there.
Oh, yeah? They want to see it on the channel?
Yeah, I would say show it sometime. Does it run?
I've never had it running. I've seen it run. So
Okay.
that was my grandpa Schaefer's. And when I was in high school, I went over there one day and Grandpa and I got it running. This was probably before I was driving, so I might have been like a freshman. But anyway, that's the last time I saw it run, was in the early 90s. Grandpa got it running, showed me how it worked, but I was too young to like absorb it and understand it. So after Grandpa passed away in probably 2004 or 5 or 6, somewhere in there, after we were married, he had given my uncle Howard had taken it, and Howard had it for several years, and he wasn't doing anything with it. So he thought I should have it, because I had said something about being interested in it after he passed away. But so then I went over to Howard's and got it and brought it home and put it there, and it's sat there ever since. So that is definitely one of the things I'd like to do in an upcoming video one day. I'm gonna write that down. I've got that on my list somewhere.
Here's another thing to add to your list. Matthew asked for a day in the life at G&K.
Oh,
We'd like to see what you're doing there.
I did a version of that a couple years ago. There's a video on the channel. It's called something like what I do when I'm not making YouTube videos or something like that. It's from probably 3 years ago, but that one's a good one to show what I did at that point in time. My job has changed a lot since then. Right now, a day in the life at G&K would probably be boring. Well, this time of the year, but so now I pretty much do at my job in G&K. I'm in charge of operations. So all the soil sampling that we do and dispatch of folks that help us soil sample. I do all the work in the shop and make sure we've got 6 or 7 ATVs that we run as soil sampling rigs. And we've got 2 trucks and 4 trailers and a lot of moving parts. And I also do all the IT in the office for everybody, and make sure the printer's working and fix any computer problems and all that kind of stuff. So some of that stuff would be pretty boring, but so Steven's saying, yeah, get an updated G&K video, but we could do that. I could do that. And I'm going to stick around at G&K for a while. It's only 6 minute drive from here, so it's nice and convenient. But yeah, hopefully the things will shift. I don't foresee making a lot more videos. You asked me that question earlier. Am I going to make more videos per week? Probably not, because I don't know that I can do enough to make 2 videos a week. And I feel like I've always been quality over quantity, where I try to make something that's worth watching.
That's the reason a lot of people stick with you,
well,
because
people's time is valuable.
I don't
want to waste time with just like fluff. I try not to, but that's the way it goes.
So a question, what YouTube channels do you watch?
Oh, that's Jeff. So that Cart Crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
He's got a YouTube channel where he works on primarily electric golf carts, but Jeff, I watch Wes work. I watch him about every video he puts out. I watch Matt's Off-Road Recovery quite a bit. I like a channel named a guy named Van Neistat. He makes videos. He calls his channel The Spirited Man, and he's got more of an artsy type approach to making videos, but he still does a lot of DIY type of projects. So I watch him.
I watch Captain Kleeman.
Yeah, I watch Kleeman.
Quite a character, and being a firefighter also. That's why I kind of stick with him.
Kleeman's got a lot of projects going on.
He does. He's a busy guy like I am.
He's working on a boat out in the woods. He's got a gymnasium he's fixing up. He's got a tractor, a 755 that he's rebuilding. Trucks that he's changing beds on. He was making a dump truck. So, and I watch Dirt Perfect, and I'm gonna forget somebody. I still watch Tractor Time with Tim quite a bit. a lot of people were saying I need to do a collaboration with Track Time with Tim, and I was wondering, I wonder if they know that I have done a few.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
but
Robbie Layton is also out there with Matt.
yeah, he's in Utah.
He's good. I like watching him too.
I don't watch as much as Robbie Layton as I do of Matt, but Junkyard Dogs. I've seen some Junkyard Dog videos. Here, Ratman Murray saying, say good day to your mom and dad from Aussie, mate. I, for one, would like to see your dad take your mom for a ride in the Corvette sometime. Would hate to see it deteriorate again. Oh, it hasn't deteriorated.
No.
Ambition Strikes. So that's another channel that I watch too, and I haven't watched any of them lately. I'm getting a frog in my throat, but they sent me a coffee and stuff. Ambition Strikes. They make coffee, and they sent me coffee and a hat, so that was nice. He's asking if somebody's asking if I watch Vice Grip Garage. Yes, I've seen quite a few Vice Grip Garage episodes. There are two.
Diesel Creek.
Diesel Creek. Yep. I've watched quite a bit of Matt. See, people are remembering for me. Outdoors with the Morgans. Yeah. I watch a lot of Outdoors with the Morgans. Mike is somebody like, what he does is that's appealing to me. He's a full-time YouTuber now, and do you watch Outdoors with the Morgans?
Yes.
So he cuts a lot of firewood. He's got a sawmill and everything.
Yep. And John Malecki, I see that they're on.
I don't know that.
I watch him.
You do?
Yeah, he's a good woodworker. Former NFL football player.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Played for the Steelers.
Wow. Hi from Denmark. Hello, Kim.
So here's one. Love that shopping and the band room. So Neil and I are in the band together, and it's been a good run. We've been having a lot of fun with it.
So we've done the garage band for about 6 years now. 6 years.
Yeah.
We started out. We had a cousin named Melvin, he was a really good guitar player back in the 70s and 80s, and he had his own band, like a classic country band. Well, back then it wasn't so classic as it is now.
Yeah.
But they played a lot of Merle Haggard and George Jones and all the staples of the 60s and 70s. And he picked up the guitar and started playing again. And so Tony saw that and got interested and started playing guitar.
Yeah.
And then they drug me into the mix. And so we've been playing ever since. But we mainly just play in here.
Yes. Lately, that's about all we've been doing.
We got a show coming up in February that we're doing, but
a lot of illness.
Thanks, Tim. There are other channels for that. I do appreciate Steve, of course. Yeah, there are other channels for that. I agree. I like staying just neutral. Okay. I'm not even going to bring up what he said in his comment, but I like staying neutral. Tim, I do like to keep it. Oh, great. Doug, that's a great question. Were you able to keep your health insurance at G&K? That's a huge benefit. Actually, the truth of the matter is I didn't have health insurance through G&K to begin with. So it's a super small company, and we've tried to do a group health insurance plan, and it's just so expensive for a company. We're fewer than 10 people there.
Mm-hmm.
So, Greg, the boss, he provides basically a credit, not a credit. I'm not the right word, but he gives us a, what's the right word? Keep thinking stipend. He gives us money for health insurance every month.
Yeah, that's how mine works too.
But that is a huge thing right now. Health insurance went up for us. It's going to be like close to $1,000 a month for health insurance for Kara and I and the two girls.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all healthy, like no issues.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge, huge expense that,
Wow. Somebody from Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
Oh, who is it? I have a regular commenter.
Marcus George.
Yeah, Marcus. Marcus has sent me some nice messages from Tokyo. Hey, Marcus. I've seen him before in here. Somebody else is saying, get your Patreon up. Yeah. Well, that's part of it too, it's a scary thing for me to think about not going to a job I went to for the past 10 years and has been a nice job and close to home and convenient and flexible and supportive of YouTube. And so those are part of the things that you have to get over that hurdle in your mind of, welcoming a change. And so that Patreon might be the next step in order to make it all work. Here in Sweden, healthcare costs $500 per year. $80 when you need to use it. So do you like your healthcare then, Jane? I mean, is it Jane or Jan? Jane.
John Johansson.
Morning Crusher. So what other questions have I missed in there? Did you sell the Jeep? Nope, I still got the Jeep.
Sitting in the garage.
It's in the garage. Pole barn dimensions. Dimensions of this pole barn right here is 36 wide by 56 long. 36 by 56.
So mine's 30 by 40, and that was as big as I could go on my lot that I have, but it needs to be twice that big.
Yeah, when
I built it to put my boat in it, and now my boat's sitting in another barn because I can't get it in there.
Well, I built this shop before I had any dump truck. No, I had a 1-ton dump truck. But yeah, the dump trucks got bigger and the shop got smaller.
Yeah.
And I never thought that this would be a band rehearsal studio either. So
right.
This bay over here that we're sitting in is where we set up for the band every Thursday. So we rehearse and practice out here every Thursday night. Well, not every Thursday, but most Thursdays. So it's awkward if I have a project in here and we're going to have band practice and I got to be able to move it out of the way. So it's all right.
There's been times we have to pick up pieces to make room for band.
Yeah. Or when I'm not here, they'll show up for band practice before I'm even here and have to move a tractor out or a skid loader or move sawhorses or whatever the thing is. But so this pole barn, 36 by 56. I called that my poor man's 40 by 60. But I'd really like to build a storage shed because I've got stuff sitting outside now. The backhoe and the dump truck are sitting outside in the snow and the freeze, and I'd really like to get everything in. But there again, everything just costs so much money, and if I can avoid it, I don't want to borrow any money for it. So are my girls on here? It says hi, Ella and Eva.
No.
They might have been in the chat. I saw somebody say hi, Eva, in the chat.
Yeah,
she might be in the
just
chat. Put up some videos of band practice.
There is a video of us on a YouTube.
Yeah, there's some older videos of the band. Oh, there's Eva. Yes, we are. Good morning.
There she is.
They weren't up when I came out here. So healthcare. Yeah, I'd be interested if anybody has any better ideas for healthcare. We were doing like last year we were doing this this major medical liability coverage where it's like basically just covering for catastrophic situations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you pay insurance so that if something bad happens, but it's high deductible,
mm-hmm.
High out of pocket. And that was cheap, a lot cheaper, like $250 a month for the two of us. Well, now they won't let you have that for more than like 2 months at a time. And that expires, you can't renew it. You have to get a different provider.
Okay.
So they won't let you do that major medical stuff anymore. So it's crazy now that you have to go through the marketplace again, which we used to do. The rates are crazy.
We have Christian Health Ministries.
Yeah.
And it actually went up this year. It's $574 for a month for the two of us. My work stipends half of that for me. But it worked well for me last year. I had a major issue last year that it paid 100%.
Really?
So
that's one of the hurdles, I guess. But so I saw a question on here. What's the biggest town close to you? Fort Wayne, Indiana is the biggest town.
And we're about 10 minutes away from there.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm 20.
Okay.
15, 20. Depends on how far into Fort Wayne you want to go to. Hi from Wells County, Nathan. He bought a 318 and a 420. Joseph sold them and got a 425, 455 now. Yeah, those are nice tractors too. My dad has a 445, and that's with a loader on it, and that's a nice tractor. Medicare went from 170 to 184 this year. That's not terrible, I guess. but I don't know. No coffee this morning?
He's got it. I'm not a coffee drinker. I got my water.
Yeah, I haven't stopped talking long enough to drink it. Elkhart County, there's a lot of local folks here.
Yeah.
So any new projects or plans and content for 2025? Thanks, Marcus. Basically just the Bronco, and like I said, the big one, I'd like to do a building if I can get it figured out. That would be a big project for this year. And I've got that hydro bucket on the skid loader. I really want to do some driveway rehabilitation stuff with that, because it'll make it, what I've done in the past with my garden tractors and my grader boxes will be so much, I can do it so much quicker with the skid loader. I didn't really get to use the skid loader on many projects. It sat down on that big yard job that I did. It sat down there for almost all of the summer, or a good part of the summer. So I feel like I really haven't got to get this skid loader out on too many jobs. So I want to do that.
Wonder what that would work like on the ball diamonds.
I would have tried on the ball diamonds.
Yeah.
I think it'll work great on the ball diamonds. But yeah, because the ball diamonds over the off season, they get so many weeds on them, and we try to keep them under control, but nobody sprays or take care of the weeds until there's a lot of them there, and then it's too late. A building, a barn, a pole barn. Yeah. So I'd like to build something big enough that I can, for a new barn, I'd like to build something big enough that I can back my dump truck and loaded trailer in at the end of the day. So if I go out working on something, get home, typically I'll unload and I'll unload everything and put it where it belongs. And I'd love to be able to just get home and back it into a building and have it all stay loaded and keep it all inside. That would be great. And then the barn would then therefore have high enough ceilings we could put a basketball goal inside, and the girls could play basketball inside the barn.
Will the Amish help you build?
We can hire Amish to build. Yeah. So there's a lot of Amish crews around here that build buildings, and more than likely, I mean, I may go that route. I'll probably do some quotes. There's also a local company that makes buildings. Ramco is really local in Woodburn down here, and they have kits and make siding and like a turnkey. You can buy like a turnkey building, and then you can hire a contractor to build it, or you can try to erect it yourself. So I haven't explored all the options. What size building are you thinking? I'm thinking at least 60 feet deep. Like ideally, if I could have the perfect thing that would fit in here nice, it'd be 60 by 80. And at 60 feet, I think would be long enough that I can back the truck and trailer into. And then 80 foot long. And then I would have at least 2 or 3 bays where I could back in from the front. And then I'd have a good portion of the building for storage. Like I'd love to have some pallet racks so I have so many things sitting outside that it's killing me to have them sitting outside. Like the hydro bucket's sitting outside right now. The backhoe's outside right now. Louie's outside. My trailers are outside. All my implements, all my 3-point implements, they're all sitting outside. My grader box is even sitting outside.
I should probably think.
Oh, Michael. Yeah, I saw a couple super chats. Michael Vince Jackson, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Someone else in there. DL, love your videos. I'm addicted to them. Thank you for that. $5. I appreciate that. They call them, what do they call those? Super chats or tips? Or
I don't know. That's kind of new to me.
See, I'm not very good at live streaming. Hi, Neil. Can you give a recap of how and why you're doing a live today? Because I thought you were going to be in Texas. So that's a good, thanks, Danny. So yeah, I jumped on a live today because I didn't produce a video for this Sunday, and I've produced a video every week for the last year or two. This is my way of taking a break.
We were at Christmas get together yesterday, and Neil hit me up. You want to do a video with me tomorrow morning?
So it's my way of being seen, but not, I don't want to say it's low effort, but it's this is certainly a way to still stay connected and feel like because I didn't want to, I don't want to skip a Sunday either, really. But so I'm just kind of reviewing this year's review of this past year. Next week I will be in Texas, so I'm leaving tomorrow. Fly to Texas, go to San Antonio. I'll be there for 5 days, or Monday through Friday. And one of the reasons I've been busy is I'm producing a video for that trip. So my company that I work for, G&K Concepts, we're an independent agronomy firm. But we work for a laboratory called Brookside Laboratories in New Bremen, Ohio. And they're a conglomeration of lots of independent agronomists. Everyone that sends their soils to that laboratory works together as a unified group called Amplify. And that Amplify group of consultants get together for an annual conference every year. And so that's what the next week is. We go and we do sessions. We learn about new things in the world of agronomy or turf. And so every year we typically go to, like, we've been to San Antonio before. We used to go to Florida. Last year we were in Reno, Nevada. And we have a big awards banquet on Thursday night. And the MC of the evening has asked me to help him produce a video that goes with his speech for the awards banquet. And I've been working on that for several weeks now. So that's why I'm going to Texas, in case you didn't ask. And thank you, Joop Terwin.
Yeah.
That's a European name. I'm saying it wrong.
It's
I know
from
I
Netherlands.
From the Netherlands?
Yeah.
For the building. And
Wow.
Thanks for sharing your life. Hello from Netherlands. Well, thank you very much for that. Very nice. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, that's 59 euros. That's more than that, and I don't know what the exchange rate is anymore. Randy Plumley, $20. Thank you very much. Are we expecting any snow? We were talking about that earlier on. Tony, when I say Tony said that they call it way back, right?
Yeah.
Originally, we were in that band of 10 to 12 inches,
and then it dropped. Well, they were saying 3 for sure, and then it could have been possibly more depending on how it tracked. But I don't even think we're going to get 1 now. I think it's all moving south.
It's good when you got to fly out the next day.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that it's not going to snow a bunch because I'm leaving. So good morning. He's saying exchange rate is a little more than 1 to 1. Well, thank you so much for that. John Deere's, no, we don't have any groomers at our park. So we typically just grade the diamonds with we've got a gator that's got a drag on the back of it. I'm going to move my phone. I've looked at my phone like 20 times.
It's not being used.
No. We've used a gator with a drag for the last, I don't know how many years, but that's all we use at the park to grade the diamonds. So do a deep dive into your revenue? Probably not. I don't know. I think those videos are good for other creators that want to know more about making YouTube videos, but I don't think they're great for an audience that, I think it's a good subject. And that might be a video like for Patreon, for example. If I wound up doing a Patreon and people were interested in how to make videos or what I do to make videos
of everything.
Yeah, that's behind the scenes stuff. I've made behind the scenes videos before on how I make videos and the gear I have and stuff. And that's a very small percentage of the folks that watch that are interested in that. So, and Matthew says, yeah, we can pass on a deep dive into money. Yeah, I agree. To me, that's not what this audience, or I don't think what most of my viewers come for. They're not interested in the money side of things. They're just interested in projects. And so while I do appreciate the topic idea for sure, and I think it's interesting to watch those videos as another creator, I don't think it's for the majority. You'd rather see dirt work. Yeah, and I like making videos of dirt work and projects too. But who knows? The 755, Philip asked if I plan on restoring the 755 like I did with Bruno. Yeah, that's on my list of stuff too. I would love for the 755 to look like Bruno. I could make a yellow 755. I don't know. That's, for some reason, I like everything.
Has that ever been done?
I've never seen a 755 yellow.
No.
There's fewer of those than there are of like the little tractors that have been painted yellow.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I'll write that down too. I got a hit and miss engine, yellow 755. Good idea. So we'll stay on for another 5 or 10 minutes here, but I was only going to do about an hour of this. I always worry about what I'm going to talk about for an hour, and if anybody will be interested to watch. but then it goes by so quickly.
Yeah,
And I'm
it's been
fortunate
quick.
to, yeah, I don't even know how many people are watching. 951. That's pretty good for
Yeah.
8:30 on a Sunday morning. 951. I'll take it. Thanks for hitting the like button and for tuning in. And thank you, Michael Kuzo, for that contribution. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I hope the ads aren't going crazy on this. I turned monetization off, or I thought I did, but people have said there was ads running. So I guess throw your questions up there for this last little bit, or anything I didn't cover. Does your wife work? That's a good question. No, fortunately, she's a stay-at-home mom, and I'm very grateful that she is. And that's been great. She worked at a bank up until basically the day the girls were born. She was assistant branch manager there and had a really good job at the bank. And once the girls were born, she didn't want to go back. I don't blame her. So she keeps everything running here. She's busier than me for the most part, keeping the wheels on the bus.
Someone says if you're coming to Texas, dress warm. It's cold and windy in the 20s.
Yeah, I saw that. I looked at the forecast. 2 years ago, we were in San Antonio, and the weather was beautiful. It was in the 80s. The girls went with me, and they swam nearly all week. And this week, it doesn't look so inviting. So they're kind of glad that they're not going. Do a Texas food video. That is, Pierre says, do a Texas food video. That is one thing about being at that Texas resort. The food was incredible. Danny Sims, thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that you like the Sunday Live. I didn't know how this would go over.
You'd have to put your video out on a different day and then
we
do your lives on Sunday.
We could do a live and then I could release a video at the same time. Some people don't like lives. I understand.
Yeah, it's not a every week thing.
No, there's a lot of different flavors out there. Some people just don't like it. But how old are you and how many years have you been married? It's a nice question, Doug. So I'm 48 and Karen and I have been married 21 years. This year will be 22. So thank you for that. I got married when I was 25, going on 26, I think. Is that right? Kara was 20. I don't know. That's too much math. Math wasn't part of the thing this morning. Is there any other questions on there? Hi from Ella. E&E Crafting. You can go check out E&E Crafting. Ella's got a channel too, Ella Cove. She's been making a lot of videos, shorts, and she's very creative. Both girls are very creative, but Ella's been doing a lot on her channel. And then Eva, my other daughter, Eva, has a channel too, and she calls it Book Talk because she reads a lot of books, and then she's got a lot of book content on there. So young adult book content on Eva's channel, and Ella makes all kinds of. Ella's been knitting and crocheting a lot. Not knitting, crocheting. She made a bunny yesterday, just from start to finish, all in one day, and she's got a short about it on her that she just made yesterday. Jason, $50. Wow.
Someone asked if you're going to be at the farm show in Fort Wayne, and you can.
Yeah, I'll be at the Fort Wayne Farm Show the week after next. So I think that's January 14, 15, 16 or something like that.
And that's with G&K, correct?
That's for G&K Concepts, yeah. Yeah, the Fort Wayne Farm Show is January 14, 15, 16. And so I will be in the Brookside Laboratories booth, or the Amplify booth, with G&K Concepts. So if you're in Fort Wayne, you want to stop in, say hi. Eva says, don't say that. Who said, no, don't say that? Sorry, Eva. I must have said something I shouldn't have. Can you clearly pronounce your last name? That's a good one. So we pronounce it Kof, rhymes with loaf. When I did my student teaching, I went to college to be a teacher, elementary school teacher. And I would have to write down on the board, K-O-C-H, Kof, rhymes with loaf. Now, why we say it that way, I think is more of the literal German pronunciation. Like in Germany, if you go there, they say our last name like Kof. I can't even do it. And I think it got translated into English as Kof. And so just the folks in our little area here in Harlan, my family says Koch is Kof. And some people say Coke, like the drink. Some people say Koch. We have an uncle and aunt that live in North Carolina, and they pronounce it differently than us just because they don't have the group down there like we do here that know the names. So.
Right.
G is like G, cog. Somebody from Germany is probably correcting me. Cog. G is like GGG. So maybe it's cog. That doesn't sound right either. See, I've got German people on here. Use the G of golf. Golf. So cog. See, I can't even say it. Cog.
Somebody's mother's maiden name was Kof.
Have I ever been to the Indy 500? Yes, I've been there a couple times, but not for 20 years.
Yeah.
Not since I've been married have I been to the Indy 500, I don't think. I used to go there when I lived with a couple of my buddies here in this house. We would go. Terry Gray, thanks for the $5. Was there any more of those that I missed?
I think that was the last one. Jason
had done the 50. Yeah. Thank you, Jason. It's nice. So he says I was saying it right. Yep, that's it. Germans are my neighboring country. You know, I've been to Germany, and I want to make a video about that sometime. I've brought it up on the channel before. I was in Germany in 2010 for work, and I was there for 6 weeks in Germany, and it was such an amazing experience. And I got to spend then a week in France as well. But I'd love to get back to Germany. I want to take the girls there.
Will you be selling DDD merch at the farm show?
No, I probably won't have any merch at the farm show. I'll have stickers. Usually I take a handful of stickers, and anybody that stops by that's knows the channel, I'll give them a sticker. I've never been to Sweden. And the part of Texas, we're going to San Antonio, Chuck. So I'll be there for 5 days. I'd love to go to the Netherlands. So we had a layover in Amsterdam. That's about as close as I've been as the airport. But I'd love to go to the Netherlands.
I saw you had someone here, a follower from Belgium.
Belgium?
And that's where our last name is from.
Oh, Newland. Yeah, his last name is Newland.
Yeah.
Which is a tough one to spell, too. Newland. It used to be Newland.
It kind of switched around.
Here's somebody from Scotland. I'd love to go to Scotland, too. I'd love to float around Europe and check out all there is to see. I want to go back. I'm thinking about going to Louisville for the farm show. The farm show in Louisville is usually around Valentine's Day, so February 13, 14, something like that.
I saw someone ask if you have any big digs planned for 25, and I was going to hit you up on that.
Digs?
Yeah.
What do you got?
One of my sons is going to build a house this year. We're going to need a basement. Yeah.
Yeah, they said something about that yesterday. Chad and Jen are building. That'd be fun to build dig a basement again.
Yeah. It's been a while.
I've dug a handful in my time, but it has been a minute, so that'd be good. I don't know. We'll do a couple more questions. What's the horsepower of your Ford dump truck? I don't know. Not much. Have you ever heard of Cove beer?
I have. I think I have a beer can of that from my beer can collection.
I think Mom and Dad do too. Go castle hunting if you go back to Germany. That's so true. That's part of why we loved it. When I was in Germany for 6 weeks, Kara came over there for 10 days in the middle. We didn't have our girls weren't born yet. And so when she was there, we were free to just explore. And we were in the northern part of Germany, up by north of Hamburg even. The town we stayed in was called Mullen. It was close to Lübeck. Lübeck was the closest big town. But anyway, we went for a drive in our rental car and quite literally got lost. We were clear up in northern Germany, but by the Red Sea, and I don't know where all we wound up, but we stumbled upon a few different castles, and it was just incredible. We found these German festivals going on. It was amazing. So that's what I'd like to do, go back to Germany and basically just get lost, drive around and and find things that are off the beaten path. Yes, we were very close to Denmark. Matter of fact, I think we were in Denmark because we put our car on a ferry and we had to go across this body of water. I should know more about where we were, but we were literally just driving around like, let's turn here, let's turn there. And before we knew it, we were in line to get on a ferry and cross the ferry, and we were on this island, and that was crazy. Somebody probably knows exactly where we were. Kara, are you here?
Home improvement plans. You have anything in the future for that?
Home improvement? Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Kara wants to work on the basement. So we finished the basement in 2010, got it all drywalled and painted and done, and we put this stain on the floor, on the concrete floor in the basement, and we've never ever been super happy with it. So she's got her sights set on the basement right now. We've done a lot of work, and she's done a lot of work upstairs, repainting a lot of the upstairs stuff. She still wants to do the great room, but she wants to do the basement. So as long as you have a wife, you'll have home improvement plans.
Yes.
So true. I can just see your Tonka trucks above your head. How many do you have? Oh,
A whole row of them.
there's a lot of them. So those are toys that I've just found like at garage sales, and people have given them to me. I don't know if you can see.
At least 20 of them that I could see.
Yeah, there's at least 20 or so up there. There's all the, and I just think they make such great decoration. I don't know, I love them in here. They give me comfort or something. Oh, turn that off. It's my heater. Must be getting cold in here. That must mean it's about time to quit. New golf equipment? Nothing new in the golf world. I need a new pair of shoes. How old is our home? It was built in the 1800s, long ago. Supposedly it was moved here from Ohio. My grandma, who was in her 90s when she passed away 13 years ago, said she remembered our house being moved here as a little girl. So it's old.
Getting a lot of repetitive questions about the Bronco and Louis.
Yeah, the Broncos
that we touched on earlier.
Yep. Well, we've been on for a little over an hour, so I don't want to waste anybody's time. I know we got plans. We're headed to Pokagon, I think, to go tobogganing still. I hope that's still in the works. I'm not sure. Cape Town, South Africa. Hello. Wow. Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. Oh, yeah, I was going to bring that up too. I bought a 3D printer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, from Kevin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Kevin came across, he had a friend that had some 3D printers they were trying to get rid of, and so I bought one. I haven't got it out of the box yet. Yeah, so thanks for reminding me, Kevin. Wes does a lot. Watch Wes Burke does a lot of 3D prints. And
okay.
I don't know anything about it, but I think Kevin's on the hook to help me figure it out, maybe. There's Dirt Brute Steve. Good morning, buddy. So I just want to thank you for hanging around and checking out the videos this year. I know it's like I said, I was going to try to take a break, and I did. I haven't made a video for today, and I probably won't do much for next weekend either, but maybe I'll shoot a little bit in Texas. While I'm there, I thought about just shooting a video of what happens throughout the week, and maybe I'll put that out next Sunday just as something, you know, but it won't be kind of low effort on my part, but at least it's something. So, well, thanks a lot, guys. You got anything else you want to say?
It's been fun.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed myself.
An hour went by quickly.
It did.
It?
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thanks again. And if we're lucky, I'll see you next Sunday. All right. Now, make sure I can click the end of this. Take care.
Bye.